Welcome to on tonight's Clubhouse Live. It's another Legends edition as Packers Hall of Fame running back Ahman Green stops by the show. Ahman will help us look back at the Packers' big win over the Rams at Lambeau. We'll also get Ahman's thoughts on what we can expect from the green and gold for the rest of the way. Plus, we're serving up another six-pack of questions at tonight's Clubhouse Live Challenge. Hit it, hit it! It's time to get started, so hey, Ahman, come on in!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Clubhouse Sports Pub Grill. We're inside the Paper Valley Hotel in downtown Appleton, Wisconsin. I'm Brett Christopherson with USA Today Network Wisconsin. That's Mean Gene, who is going bonkers right now. How about that guy? He's taking over the show, but I'm guessing you're all feeling as good as Mean Gene. Am I right? Let's hear ya. I bet. Big game at Lambeau Field yesterday. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. A big bye week and a very favorable schedule coming down the stretch for the Packers. But first things first, I am ordered by the powers that be.
Yes.
I am told it's in the contract of this goofball that I need to introduce him at this point and ruin everybody's party. It is.
That's right.
The other member of our Clubhouse Live crew. How about a chorus of boos for Chicago Bears fan Ricardo Arguello?
Yes, thank you. Brett, how are you, my friend?
Fantastic.
Feels good to be on a winning streak, right?
What are you saying?
Bears are on a one-game win streak.
Ah, yes.
Hey, but I will say this. You're going to be big Bears fans this Sunday. You need them to knock off those Arizona Cardinals.
Is that who they're playing? Well, there's another L. Congratulations to your Bears for barely beating a winless Lions team.
Hey, a win's a win.
One of the worst Thanksgiving games in history.
I'll take the win. I don't care how ugly it is.
Matt Nagy survives another week, doesn't he? That's enough for your Bears Minute. We want to talk about the Packers, and how about Packers 36, Rams 28? How do you like that, everybody? The score, right, Mean Gene, was a lot closer than the game truly was, right? The outcome never really felt in doubt. Big plays in all three phases propelled the Packers as they chopped down the Rams on Sunday. Battle of NFC title contenders at Lambeau Field. Aaron Rodgers, big game again, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, and directing an offense that finished 399 total yards. That included an 8-catch, 104-yard night for Devontae Adams, our bobblehead giveaway tonight, and a 4-catch, 95-yard, 1-touchdown effort from Randall Cobb. How about Randall Cobb? A turn-back-the-clock performance. Meanwhile, that defense, 2 sacks, 2 turnovers, the biggest. How about Rasul Douglas, a pick 6, 33-yard interception return for a score late in the third quarter. Gave the Packers a 36-17 lead, all but clinched the win, and really for all intents and purposes, the NFC North is pretty much done, isn't it? It's the Packers going away. So, how about Dominique Daphne, too, forcing a fumble on a punt. Chris Barnes coming up with the loose ball, a sequence that led to a Mason Crosby field goal. All three phases playing well yesterday. That's 9 in the wagon for the Packers, who finally get a much-needed and well-deserved bye after 12 straight weeks of football. The Packers, by the way, have yet to lose back-to-back games in the Matt LaFleur era. Who likes that? Me. Happy Vince loves it. Happy Vince and those crazy teeth. He loves smiling after a big Packers victory, and he loves it when it's Legends Night, the Legends edition here on Clubhouse Live. Check who's going to be our guest tonight. It is Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer, career rushing leader. He's sitting right over there. It is Ahman Green. He's here tonight. Not yet. He's anxious, but I have to do this a more formal introduction for Ahman. So first, before we get Ahman up here, a big thank you to our presenting sponsor, Unison Credit Union. They proudly provide the people and businesses of Northeast Wisconsin with exceptional banking services and trusted financial guidance delivered by friendly experts. Personal checking and personal savings, investments, loans, business checking and business savings. Unison Credit Union, empowering you. Ricardo, I like to empower you to tell everybody how to work the show works.
Well, I appreciate that, Brett. But we are a live and interactive show for all of you watching online around the world. Brett could be potentially billions if China's checking us out. Russia, you never know. But we invite your comments and questions through the live chat. That can be found online next to the video viewer.
I am monitoring that chat, and we'll get those questions and comments over to you and Ahman.
China and Russia. You think communist countries are watching us?
Why
tonight?
not?
Why would they're not allowed to watch anything?
Oh, maybe not. You're right. Maybe Taiwan.
Maybe England, right?
Okay, there you
Spain,
go.
something like that. Hey, hashtag is Clubhouse Live. Give us a follow on Twitter. I'm at PC Bretzi. Ahman is at Ahman Green 30. And give us a like on Facebook. As always, facebook.com/Clubhouse Live. All right. As you can see, we're doing Bears Week a bit early because when the Packers come out of their bye, it is Bears Week. So I got the Bears welcome mat for Ahman to stomp his feet all over the ugliest logo in sports, and that's going to tear Ricardo apart. It's going to be a stake through the heart. So let's do this. Our guest tonight spent 8 of his 12 NFL seasons with the Green Bay Packers. He is a 4-time Pro Bowler. He is a 2-time All-Pro honoree. How about that? Our guest tonight holds numerous franchise records, including career rushing yards with 8,322, rushing yards in a season with 1,883, rushing yards in a single game with 218, and the longest run from scrimmage, 98 yards. How about this guy? Our guest tonight holds 2 of the Packers' top 4 single-season rushing totals in franchise history. He tallied a franchise best 6 seasons of at least 1,000 yards rushing. How about that? Our guest tonight rushed for at least 100 yards in a single game, a franchise best 33 times. He set a franchise record for most games of at least 100 yards in a single season with 10. He's a huge Batman fan. He loves comic books, and he is an esports coach, too. How about a big Clubhouse Live welcome for Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer, the legend? It is number 30, Ahman Green. That's an intro.
It took you a day to read off all that
We're
resume.
done. Show's over. Yeah, it's Ahman Green, everybody.
Thank you. Great intro.
Want to do it again?
Appreciate it. I don't know. We got time for the show?
We got time, right? It's only
I'll take up another part of the show. I need a nap after all those
man.
accomplishments.
It's good to have Ahman Green here. Before we get started with him, and just again a program, everybody here and watching online, our regular season co-host Marquez Valdez-Scantling will be back here next Monday night to get ready for the stretch run. So I'll announce who MVS is bringing as a guest on our Facebook page, again, facebook.com/Clubhouse Live. So welcome back to the show. It's been a number of years since you've been here. How you doing?
I'm doing good. All the things that you said I'm doing. Being busy with that. A season actually just ended a few weeks ago for Esports. So now just going to the facility and having the kids work on their mechanics to get ready for the spring season. So we have a fall season and a spring season. So they're just getting ready for spring season now, which is the off season for them. And I told them how that can benefit them for the long run. Outside of that, I do 2 podcasts.
Yeah.
I do one called On My Block with Mike Wall, if everybody remembers that guy, number 68, Pro Bowl guard. Me and him talk about the game. We break it down from a player standpoint. The show runs about an hour and a half long, if we have a good talk. And another one is the other passion I have is video games, and it's called Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge. And that's wherever you download your podcast. You want to listen to me talk about video games with my special guests and my co-host, John Audius. Actually, I still work with him he's out of Madison, but we jump online just like here. Online, we got the chat. We got to check. I got to manage the Twitch chat and make sure I get questions answered and the remarks said from our watchers from the chat out to everybody else, making sure everybody's getting that full engagement as you're talking right here on this show now.
It's that's the nature of the world we live in, right? It's all engagement, all online, all social media stuff. So, well, let's backtrack here a little bit. Well, first things first, Ahman, before we get into some of your endeavors, and maybe you can list those websites again where folks can find the podcast and all that information. Do you, and I like to ask this, do you have a message for Chicago Bears fan Ricardo Arguello standing right over there?
Do I have a message?
Yes.
I'm like, man, how you still working here?
They keep roping me back into the contract.
Hey, you could go to HR sometimes, or this abuse you get. Goodness gracious.
Well, it's his own doing, right? If you would maybe cheer for a different team. I happily
join you every week. I do like the players and most of the fans.
Yeah.
What was your best game against the Bears?
It had to be probably the 03 season.
Okay, yeah.
192 yards, couple touchdowns on Monday Night Football. They just reopened Soldier Field because of the remodeling. And even some of the Bears fans didn't like some of the remodeling. They said it looked like the USS Enterprise landed on Soldier Field, and it was like interesting that
Star
they're
Trek,
they're mad. They're a mad fan base, unfortunately. So they were mad at themselves pretty much with that, or the organization on remodeling the stadium. But I would say a message to you, Ricardo. Unfortunately, I say the way the Packers are playing right now and way the Bears are playing, it's going to be a loss next week, buddy. Sorry, I'm just sending that early message to you.
That's fine.
You know.
Hey, I'm a big fan of Ahman, actually. He's a
you
great
are.
guy. But more importantly, one of his heroes, my personal hero, Walter Payton.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, the P.
Absolutely.
A lot of respect there for that player right there.
That's the one Bear we can actually respect on the show.
Thank you.
The rest of them stink. We don't want to talk about the Chicago Bears anymore. So, well, yeah, that was one of the things notes on my script. Catch us up on what you're doing these days. Well, let's talk about the esports stuff first.
Yeah.
I don't know if folks realize you're the first esports coach in Lakeland University history. So he's at Lakeland near Sheboygan.
Yep, not far from here.
Not far from here at all. So what? Just run the gamut here, because I'm very interested. The gaming industry is huge.
Yes,
obviously
it's growing.
very huge. But what does that entail? What is a season like? Just kind of fill us in on what that's all about.
Well, a season is just like what's going on with the Packers and all 32 NFL teams. We have week-to-week games, and our season started back in September. And unfortunately, we didn't make it to the playoffs, so it ended a few weeks ago. So the kids are now just got back from Thanksgiving break, and they're into their college living right now. So finishing up finals. They got finals in a few weeks, so studying up for that, and then getting ready for winter break. But then during winter break, no different, like I was just explaining, as traditional sports athletes, they got to get ready for the spring semester of gaming and in school. So that means you got to keep playing your game. You know, if it's Overwatch, if it's League of Legends, Rocket League, Call of Duty, or Madden, you got to keep playing those games, because just no different than traditional sports athletes, you got to be in the off season. It's the most important time. You got to take advantage of that time to maximize what you can do to get better before the next season starts.
Ricardo, where was this when we were in college?
I was the
I
king
know,
of,
me too.
I was the king of Super Tecmo Bola.
I was taking chemistry, biology, art. I had to take an art class.
I wasn't doing any of that.
Well, you still got to go to school.
Oh, you still have to do that?
You still got to go to
You
school.
can't-
now.
Okay, you can't play the video
You got to have a
games the entire
3.0.
day.
Yeah, 2.0 or higher. So you got to hit the books. Still got to do that.
You got to hit the books.
All right, can't just play games all day.
That would have been a challenge for Ricardo, the 2-point plateau, right?
Well, no, my high school GPA wasn't good.
So are those the specific games? I mean, are
Yeah.
there a list of specific games that you play, or is it whatever game you want to play? How does that work?
I say, kind of like the conferences we're in, like Big Ten, Pac-12, stuff like that. There's leagues or conferences, and there is NECC, ECAC, and NACE Star League. And so we played in the NACE Star League, and we played those games I just mentioned, along with I think it's a Super Smash Bros. Rainbow Six Siege is another multiplayer game. And so the common denominator in all esports and traditional sports is it's a team game. So I know team games very much. I've been playing football and baseball and basketball since I was a kid. Right. So that dynamic of an athlete development, that's what I could bring to esports. Even though I am a gamer myself, I do play a lot of Halo and a lot of Madden. So I got the thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Excited about Halo Infinite coming out here in 2 weeks, December 8th. I can't wait. So with that passion that I have, just like for football, it turned into a career, from high school to college to pro. But now, same thing with esports, and it's just turned into coaching career, and then continue to move on. And I'm basically year 2 going into year 3 coming up real soon.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
The kids that you got, do they got to be great at all those games, or are they specific ones that they are special at? Say one, like in football sense, there's a quarterback, but or do they have to be great at all the games?
No, they could just be really good at one game. Some of them come in saying, "Coach, I could play more than one game," but also you got to remember they're college students, so they got a class. Some of them have jobs, so I let them know, hey, I would love for you to play Smash and League of Legends, but remember you got a class load. You got about a full 16 credit courses, which is about 2 or 3 classes a day, and then you might have a job on the weekends or a job on 3 days a week. So just be mindful of deciding to play 2 games, which is great for the team because you're helping the other team out, but just for your natural, when you feel overwhelmed and overworked,
Well, yeah, like right now, yeah.
You know, so they got to learn that.
Yeah,
they got to learn that, and that's what college is. You're developing into an adult, pretty much, and so get them to understand, like, yeah, you can play this game, but you got to time manage your day, your work schedule as well,
like anything else. Yeah, absolutely. Well, can you explain? I'm kind of fascinating topic. Actually,
this is.
It really is.
I want to know more about this.
But just how big gaming industry is. I mean, competition, intensity, the money involved behind it. It's a big deal, isn't it?
It's a big industry, and it's growing quietly. It's been growing for years. It's probably been growing since the first. Actually, for sure, since before the first console, which was between ColecoVision and Atari. So since the
that's my neck of the woods.
That's your.
I had an Atari.
Since the late 70s, early 80s. I did my homework. I did some research just to kind of quiz the kids on to let them learn the history of esports, and I studied up. And the first esports events was in 1964.
Wow, really?
What was that? Pong?
It was
not even that.
It was a game called something like Space Station. So it was a space game, and it was a multiplayer game. And you know what the first place prize was for this competition? It was 1964. What you think?
$100.
Nope.
Am I way off?
Way off. A 1-year subscription to Rolling Stone magazine.
Oh, really?
That was the first place prize. Which now League of Legends, which is a very popular team game, you're talking about $1.5 million.
Unbelievable.
So you just see the time from 1964 to 2021, and now continuing beyond. It's going to continue to flourish and grow.
How many schools or universities in the state have esports teams?
So in Wisconsin, it's over 150 high schools.
Okay.
And then all the colleges.
All the colleges
D3. So us, we're D3, Lakeland University, but University Eau Claire, University Parkside, Stevens Point, Madison. They all got teams, and the cool thing about esports, we play against everybody.
Yeah.
So there's no Division III. We just played against Division III schools. We played Madison, and we got our butt kicked. So in Call of Duty last year, but they have a good team. So we could play Nebraska, Ohio State, Oregon State. We could play these other Division I teams in these games because it doesn't have it doesn't matter on the division.
How does practice work? How do you coach these guys? Like, how does that?
I say guys and girls. So practice, I like I said, brought it over from football. So I start every season with a training camp.
Okay.
Yep. So I have a 2-week training camp in the fall, 1-week training camp in the spring, and we practice for about 2.5, 3 hours. And it's from just like if you go into a football practice or a basketball practice, you work. If it's a football practice, you have individual drills. Running backs work with the running backs, quarterbacks with the quarterbacks, and eventually we team up where quarterbacks work with the wide receivers, or the running backs go work with the O-linemen to get run fits and all that, and work on mechanic stuff. And so then in these a lot of these games are shooter games. FPS is first-person shooter, so obviously you got to work on your aiming. You got to work on your mechanics of the joystick or the mouse and keyboard that's in front of you. Throwing a grenade or having a quick scope, things of that nature. A lot of verbiage going on here that is video game stuff. I know, I understand. Sorry. That's our language though. That we talk, and to know it, and that for me to know it, it helps them. The players understand that. Oh, he's not just a football player. Because I got that question, like, why are you coaching esports? Didn't you play football? I'm like, I play video games quite a bit too. Right. I should have been pro in that, but obviously, I focus on something a little bit more different.
And like you said, your background as a professional athlete, competition, practice, structure, that all goes into this.
It's all there, So it ties in real well, and that's the one question people always don't really get. Like, it's competition, and from where I came from, I grew up from all the traditional sports: football, baseball, basketball team, track. And once you go, get an opportunity to play in the pro side of it, and you understand what the esports is doing the same thing. It's mimicking. It just the fan bases don't understand. Majority of fan bases don't understand the games. I mean, there's a percentage of the fan base, about say 70% understand the game. The 30%, some of the faces in here, when I said some words, that's the 30% that are learning to understand what League of Legends is, what Overwatch is, what Rocket League is. Well, we got one fan that's a Halo fan. That's awesome. It's just about people learning. Right, there you go.
Well, Brett, and I think, Ahman, you agree with this. Some of the elite gamers, they're superstars. Like I know this one a guy, Ninja, who's great, I think, at Fortnite or one of the games. I can't remember which one.
Fortnite.
Yeah, he's a Detroit Lions fan. So I remember seeing an Instagram post. He's at the Lions game, and all the players are around him. They all know who the real elite players are.
And his wife is a Packers fan. Jessica Blevins.
All I know is, Ricardo, I'm still stuck in the Atari era. Okay. With the joystick and the one button on the corner there, and playing Space Invaders or Asteroids or something like that. It's way too complicated now.
Yeah.
I stopped playing video games, and then Nintendo Cube was my last game system.
Man, that was a while ago.
That was a long time ago. I'm an old man now.
Yeah, you got to catch up now.
Well, I'm an old man. I can't handle. There's like 9 buttons, and I get frustrated. 12 buttons now.
12.
I can't handle. I don't have the mental capacity to handle this stuff.
Yeah, when we went from Nintendo, see the D-pad, start, select, and AB, what's that? 5 buttons.
That was
5
maybe
buttons,
my limit.
come on.
That was maybe my limit. Hey, one more thing before you do our first audience question, Ricardo. Again, go through your websites, the podcast, and then the podcast with Mike Wall as well.
Yeah,
folks, and when do those take place?
Right, the podcast with Mike Wall, we actually record on Mondays at noon, and that is on the Believe Network production. Okay. So Believe is spelled BLEAV. So it's not Believe as you know it, but it's a kind of a play on words there. Yep. And then Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge podcast, that you can go to the website agglounge.com. So Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge.com. You go AGG Lounge. And then Twitter, Facebook, I'm on there, Ahman Green 30, all one word. I keep it simple for all the Packer fans in the world to know. You get to Ahman Green 30, you found the right Ahman Green and got the verification check.
Absolutely.
All that real stuff.
All that stuff, and Ahman does a great job of tweeting all that stuff, information out. I've seen some of that, the podcast, or listened with Mike Wall, too. So, Ricardo.
Yes.
First audience question.
We do, and this is from our guy, Dennis Vosters, as we get him on camera here. His question for Ahman is, hey, how are you doing physically since your playing days?
He looks good.
Yeah,
he looks great.
Yeah. No, I'm doing great. I work out. Yep, religiously. It's just something I learned when I was playing, that I've been trained by some of the best minds in the physical game, in terms of getting bodies ready for football, for combat. So I just, from every year, from starting in college, I took the information and kept it, notebook, folder, write it down, and just used it. It was like, I knew this was going to be useful after I was done playing, and then just like everybody, I'm probably not the only one, but who bought a Peloton during the during the lockdown. Right. So I bought a Peloton for my cardio, and I got a weight room with weights in it that I grew up, from high school, college, and pro that I had that I know very well. So I do that daily, like on the clock. Wake up in the morning, get my workout in, then the day is pretty much done from there. From a physical standpoint, then after that is just organizing what I need to do for my players at Lakeland, or spend time with the family. That's about it.
Looks fantastic, and when I look at your body, I see my body. I mean, it's almost identical. We're almost identical.
You see what you want to see. That's what you're doing over. You're playing those mind games with yourself. Hey, if you get a VR, then it could probably be happening.
Don't make me take off my shirt, okay, and show off. Off, all right.
What's stopping you?
I don't want to overshadow you here. So now would be a good time to take a timeout.
Yes, please.
Keep the show moving. And let's do tonight's Mark Olenichik Realty Stat Pack. If you are buying or selling real estate in Northeast Wisconsin, contact the licensed professional realtors at Mark Olenichik Realty. Call 920-432-1007 or visit olej.com. Let's do a couple of stats in regards to the current team, right? Let's talk about Davante Adams first. Yes. Continues to stake his claim as one of the Packers' all-time greats. With Sunday's 104-yard performance, he now has at least 100 yards in a single game for the 28th time now in his illustrious career. Only James Lofton with 32 and Sterling Sharp with 29 have more such games among Packers players since 1950. How about that? Davante Adams, fantastic season.
Yeah. Great season.
That's according to NFL.com. Of course, Lofton, Ricardo, Pro Football Hall of Famer, and we both agree Sterling Sharp should be in there
Definitely,
too.
without a doubt.
Career cuts way too short, no doubt. And how about maybe the Packers re-signing number 17 in the offseason, Mean Gene, right? It's got to happen. Also, and this is according to NFL.com, the Packers 9-0 in games with at least one takeaway, and 0-3 in games with no takeaway. So the path to victory, Ahman, is clear. Turnovers, and you're probably going to win the game. So before we get back to Ahman, Ricardo, though, we are doing trivia, right?
We are. Here's some rules, though. First off, we'll ask the question. If you think you know the answer, you got to raise your hand. Don't shout it out. You just let the next person get a chance to win. If you're correct, you win what, Brett?
It's the same. It's a nacho and beer gift certificate right here at the clubhouse. It's worth Well, I don't know how much it's worth.
Well, it's beer, but not root beer, kids. I know we have some under 18 folks here. So, but if you're correct, you win that. Once you win, though, you're out for the rest of the show. And sorry, live chatters, got to be here to win.
Ooh. So I will ask the first question. Ahman, Ricardo, see who raises his or her hand first in the crowd.
Okay.
Pretty easy question. Ahman Green played his college football at this Big Ten school. Oh, we got it right here. Nebraska, yes.
That was quick.
The Cornhuskers, now in the Big Ten.
Yes.
You
not
were.
happy.
He's
not happy right now.
Not happy.
Rough season.
Rough season. 9 losses.
3-9. Or 3-9. Oof.
But all 9 losses were like close games.
Yeah, I like the fight.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen this in the 2 previous years, so I like the fight. Still, losses are lost, but the fight is there.
The fight.
Do
is
you Do you like Frost as the coach?
Yes. No. I went back home a couple months ago and caught the Northwestern game, and had a big alumni function going on the night before. And Trev, I met up with Trev Alberts, talked with him a little bit, the AD, and the feel, the attitude of the night, or say the atmosphere was basically, what's going to happen in the offseason. And I pretty much said, and he kind of, and Trev agreed with me, that clearing out office, firing Scott right now is not going to help the program. It's going to put it back another 2, maybe 3 years, because it's been a lot that he's put in work-wise to get the players where they are now. Right. Those games, just little mistakes here and there, losing less than 2 or 3 points at a time, it's the players now understanding we could do this. We just got to take away the mistakes. Right. And they got to flip that switch for them. It can't be the coaches. It can't be the trainers. It has to be the players. So they're right there.
They're right there. They're close. And but when Ahman Green, they were in the Big 8 and then the Big 12, and then won 2 national championships at Nebraska with Ahman Green. How about that? He's a 2-time national champion.
Thank you.
All conference and All American too. So, well, and by the way, folks, I know it hurts you to see the Gophers fans celebrating the jump around after Saturday's game. But I know one fan, my son, who's a proud graduate of the University of Minnesota, who was loving that. So I just had to get that in there for the angry Badger fan out there as well. Sorry.
Watch it, man.
Boo on, please.
He's a Gopher,
hey,
all right?
Bucky Badger might be walking around here, man. You better be careful.
Well, I'm just saying. Sometimes it's okay, to kind of get your nose rubbed into it a little bit. So as we're doing with Ricardo and the Bears right now, right, Ricardo? So let's go a little bit more with Ahman Green before we look at our current Packers team. Let's talk about your run with the green and gold. What, when you look back and reflect, what are some of the moments that stand out for you in Titletown? There were a lot.
There's a lot. I would just say just my first time in a Packer uniform, which was preseason of 2000.
Yeah.
And finally walking out on the field. I mean, I had been out there, obviously, for walkthrough, but for the actual game, that's a whole different atmosphere. The crowds, the fans are in the stands now. They're cheering and they're yelling, and then it's hot. I believe it was a 12 o'clock kickoff, and now it's like, okay, this is, I'm about to find out. Not me, but everybody else about to find out, was the trade worth it? Even though it's preseason, you still don't know. But this is the first, I say stage appearance of me going out there and basically being a football player. And that's basically what I told myself. By that time, I was like, look, I know I can play at this level. And it's now just go out there and have fun like I was in high school, playing with my friends at Omaha Central High School. Just go out there, have fun, and let the game come to me. And so that was that moment where it was like, this is sweet. Lambeau Field, it's the Yankee Stadium of football, right. So I watch football, I watch baseball, I watch basketball. So if I was a basketball player, if I played in the LA Forum, if I was a baseball player, I played in Yankee Stadium, or Wrigley Field was like, so playing in Lambeau was like, okay, I better show up, I better play good, because the fans will let me know right away if I'm not. So that was that one moment there. Another moment was the 98, the 03 season, the 98-yard run.
Right.
And what was big to that play for me, once it was actually the next day, watching it on film and watching all my teammates on that play doing their job. And that's why I love football, because it's a full team sport. And so from Kevin Berry, who was our personnel U71 package, he was our second tight end, but he was an offensive lineman. So you sub him in, put him on the right side, and Mike Wall, Mike Flanagan, Markham, Chad, and Tausch just doing their jobs. William Henderson hitting their blocks, Bubba, everybody. And then, watching myself running down the field on the video copy, I see Brett trying to give a high five to the referee, and I'm like, of course he's going to do that, during that run. And like things I remember about it was, obviously that game, regardless of the run, we had to win that game. My thing was win this game, do our job, because we know what needed to happen in Minnesota, and it did.
Yep.
But I was a team captain along with Brett, playoff captain, or Ray almost for playoff captain. But we were like, don't worry about what happens in Phoenix. We play our game here. We play hard. And then right before the game, we find out that Denver sits 20 of their starters. We're like, that's the dumbest, and from a player standpoint, dumbest thing you could do.
Right.
Thinking you could rest your players, and they lost the first round
right.
of the playoffs that next game. It's like, don't do that. Let them keep playing so you stay in rhythm. But I say that play right there, and then I would say probably when I came back in 2009, just to get to know some of the guys, even though it was a half season, I got there. Getting to meet Clay, getting to meet Jordy, Drake Jennings, these younger. Well, Greg I knew already, but I definitely Clay and Jordy and a few other young guys that. They when I came in the locker room and they picked me up, their kind of faces was like, "Oh, the man's here!" Like one of the guys that we've heard a lot about is here now. It's like, so seeing that is humbling, because not too long ago I was that kid just getting into Seattle, seeing Ricky Waters, who I watched with the 49ers as a kid growing up, Warren Moon, as a Houston Oiler. So now I was kind of that was the first event of my, not post-career, but almost post-career, where guys were looking at me like, dude, you were a beast, man. It's like, I'm still playing, so let's go. Let's have some fun.
Makes you feel a little old, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. I earned it, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I embraced the old. Kind
of what Aaron Rodgers is experiencing now, I think, with these
Probably.
guys that comes in a locker room, right?
For sure.
Absolutely.
I'll be like, bro, you getting old. Like, you got to mess with you. When you're showing your feet on TV now, you're getting old.
Yeah. That's a good point, no doubt about it. Yeah.
Come on.
Kevin Barry, wasn't that like the U Bacon formation? Wasn't that what it was called?
Either U. Well, among the players is U Bacon. Yeah. But the actual coach terminology was U71.
Okay.
But among players, it was you. Where'd you get that one from?
I've heard that one.
It is. That was among us. As the old linemen and the running backs.
U Bacon.
He's a big eater.
He was a big eater. You still see him around sometimes too.
Yeah, he has a place right off Holmgren Way. He does a party bus now. I'm giving a shout out to my man Kevin Barry.
Yeah.
Party bus. It's called On the Night.
Okay.
So you could party bus anytime, anywhere.
Ricardo, here we go, right? New Year's Eve, you and I with Kevin Barry.
Office Bacon. On the bus. There we go.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Before we get to the MVS gift of the night, we always do the gift of the night in relation to yesterday's game. But what do you think, Ahman? You got one more game in you? This guy looks pretty good, right?
Yeah. One more game.
I know what, you're 44?
44. Yep, you nailed it.
44 years old. He doesn't look 44. If they came to you, Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur said, hey, we're banged up. Aaron Jones is out. A.J. Dillon's out. Ahman, you're in the area. We need you for one game. Could you do it?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not even a thing.
One game.
Hey, Red already knows my sizes. He probably and I got my my helmet. Even though I might have to get a new one, because that one is older helmet. It's not NFL regulation no more, but he knows my size. Red knows my sizes. Nelly and all them guys, they'll have my locker together.
Brett, there was no hesitation.
He's ready to go.
Yep.
He's ready to go. All right, so, hey, let's talk a little bit about this team and yesterday's game. First, Rosie, put up the MVS GIF of the night. This is kind of the reaction. Yes, we're laughing at Rams fans right now. We're laughing at Aaron Donald. We're laughing at Jalen Ramsey.
Hey, I wouldn't laugh too much at Aaron Donald now.
Cooper, well, hey, I think
face to face, that's a whole nother thing.
Yash kind of
like through video, you're okay.
I would laugh at him if I was standing behind you. Okay. If I was standing behind you and you were protecting
survival tactics there.
Yes, thank
that's
you.
a good thing.
I would laugh at him then.
Yeah.
Yash driving him into the ground a couple times too, though. I think Aaron Donald was getting a little bit antsy, a little frustrated.
Yeah, a little frustrated. He wanted to make plays,
But as you look at this team, Ahman, right now, what gives you the most confidence that they can go out and win a Super Bowl?
Defense.
Okay.
Adrian Amos, Savage, Razul, those guys, Sullivan, playing hard. I say as a defensive back, and I bring up the defensive backs first because it's a passing game. And so those guys are the ones that's going to, get the ridicule or get the congratulations if they make a big play. Razul obviously comes in right away with Arizona, gets that big pick at the end to win that game. But then several weeks later, he's just playing high caliber football. And when I've seen teams start their Super Bowl walk, or I say journey, around this time of the year, in between start of November and end of November going into December, that's playoff push. And so players showing up that already has been there, like Amos, like I said, that 4th and 1 stop of Henderson.
Right.
That's huge. And that ripple goes throughout the whole defensive scheme. All the players understand those plays need to happen, because come playoff time, when you make big plays, that is a momentum. It's like college football. Momentum swings a lot more important. I say it's more serious in the postseason. Regular season, because now where it is has been long road. Mm-hmm. Guys are tired and beat up. But when you get to the postseason, it's a new season, and it's one game and you're gone.
Right.
So that momentum on those big plays that happen, that can all stack up into like a bonus, it just making everything a little bit more easier to do, because you're getting interceptions, you're getting turnovers, you're scoring the ball. Offense can't be stopped right now, and which is great. So keep that same recipe going. Defense playing, hard, even though they gave us some points, but the offense is scoring points at the same time. Right. And that's the two biggest things there. Defense showing up, the players making plays that are supposed to be. Preston Smith picking up the fumble along with Kenny Clark dominating the middle. You got those plays showing up that's supposed to be showing up, and then Aaron, AJ, Aaron Jones, Devontae, everybody on offensive line doing their job. I say that game, the offensive line probably showed their best so far, because you got an all-pro, eventually a Hall of Famer, Aaron Donald, that you keep quiet for most of the game. He made his plays. You saw the one-on-one every now and then. He would slip them, slip Lucas or what have you. But overall, as a lineman coach, I'm happy.
Right.
Because Aaron didn't get hit a whole lot. He moved around. He used his legs, even though with the pinky toe, he was still able to get out the pocket, and he could scrabble, as we know. But overall, A.J. Dillon coming downhill hard, knowing how he could use his weight, his shoulder, getting behind the shoulder pads. And you saw that. He put Rapp, the safety, on his butt. Right. And Rapp was trying to come downhill, stop the first down or second down conversion, and boop, and stuff I like to see.
I know.
I got happy when I saw that. I was a running back running DB over.
Yeah.
We eat DBs for breakfast, so we got to do that.
We'll talk about Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon here a little bit, but you mentioned defense, offense doing it, but how about the depth? I mean, this team shouldn't be 9-3 with the amount of injuries and some adversity with COVID as well, but man, I mean, they're a deep team. It's a deep team.
I mean, you say the depth, and you look at, again, on the defensive side, you got all them DBs I just mentioned that were backups because of a guy named Zaire Alexander. He's out, but he may be back. We don't know the timetable. But if you come, just imagine, once he gets back, you got him, not only him, but he's going to have to get the rust off.
Right.
But you got these other guys that got the 8-9 games under their belt. They got the experience. They got the anxiety, the nervousness of playing good or messing up. It's all out of there. Now they can just go out there and play football. So that is a good thing to have come December. And then again, with David Buckatari out, you got linemen stepping in, doing their job, and he's eventually going to be back in there. Again, he's going to take a game or two to knock the rust off.
Right.
But eventually, by playoff time, he'll be ready to go. And then you got those backups that got all that experience. So if something does happen again, you got the next man up mentality to come over and take over the job.
Just have Bakhtiari play against the Bears. You take maybe a few plays and knock the rust off against that team. It's not going to matter too much.
No.
Not going to matter too much. They don't have Khalil Mack anymore.
No, but they have Quinn. He has
it
almost
doesn't
11
matter.
sacks. All right.
That's a bad team. So. Hey, you played with Aaron. You played with Brett Favre, and then at the tail end of your career, you played with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, what was your take on all the Aaron Rodgers drama in the offseason? As a former player, you're going to be looking at this. What is going on? Right?
Between my podcasts, I talked about it a lot. And it was, to me, it was because I know Aaron, and obviously knowing him after the game, kind of watching him from a distance now, it was a lot had been said, and he hadn't said nothing at one point in time. Remember? It was media, it was ESPN, Fox, CBS. You go on the podcast, every other podcast was talking about what's Aaron going to do? Is he going to go, is it going to be the 49ers or is it going to be, Steelers? I'm like, we don't know because he hasn't said anything. So that's the part that kind of tickled me was like, we've been going for about 3-4 months here, and he's literally said nothing. Yeah. But you got all this speculation where he might go, it might be a new contract, might be gone from the team now and not come back. It's like, so that part kind of tickled me. But once he started talking, he definitely was calculated. He's a smart guy. Yeah. He was calculated in what he was needed to say and what he shouldn't say. Not saying that, but it was just interesting. Like as a player, we're like, let's just get the football. Right. Like if I'm playing right now, I'm like just cracking up. I'm like, bro, like if I'm in the locker room right now with Aaron, I'm like, why you just have to harass him? You like to mess with the fans, don't you? Or the media. It's just one of those things. As players, that's his business. We just want to know, can you throw the ball? Are you going to be able to do your job when you get here? Is all the distractions too much of a distraction, or can you be the guy we know you can be? As a player, that's all we're really worried about at the end of the day, because we're focused on winning football games, making sure we get to winning our division, get to the playoffs, and then going to the big show.
Aaron Rodgers, 23 touchdowns, 4 interceptions so far, 105.5 passer rating. Looks like he still has some gas left in the tank, though, doesn't it? Well, why would the Packers move on from this guy, Ahman?
I don't think, like I said, it's we know it's two, it's Aaron and then it's the Packers organization, and it's the business side of all this. And it's the part where he did express, what he felt, where he was slighted and what made him feel the way he felt, where he wasn't sure was sure that he didn't want to come back until right before training camp. They made the final adjustments to his contract that made him comfortable to stay. But like I said, it's in him. Well, on why or will he come back? That's on him. We'll find out, come after this season's over. And hopefully, I say the way they're looking at it, hopefully, it's the game they want to play in and finally get a victory.
Yeah, hopefully it's not the end for 12 and 17 in Titletown. Hopefully you have a few more years left of those guys. I'm going to put you on the spot. Because that's what we do here in Clubhouse Live, right? You played with Brett Favre, as I said. You played with Aaron Rodgers. Here you guys are. You one drive to win the Super Bowl. Who is your quarterback between the two? Is it
you
number 4?
You have to answer this.
Or is it number 12?
This is the worst.
You can be very diplomatic in how you answer this question.
I'm not mad at you no more.
He's mad at me.
Dude, you gonna ask me that question?
You gotta answer.
How dare you?
Two all-time greats, though, aren't they? Listen.
I hate you right now. Oh my God.
Well, listen. It's a free country. You don't have to answer the question.
It's true. I could plead the fifth. Either way, I'm not wrong.
I know that. I have an idea.
Because they both did it.
They both did it.
What was you about to say?
My idea was every other play, right? As a Favre comes.
We could do that.
Should we do that? Is that better?
That helps me out.
Do you like me again?
Yes, I like you a little bit better.
You not like that guy again?
No, we're friends now.
What?
Yes.
No.
But if I could do every other play, yes.
Some teams do that, right? In the college level especially.
Yeah, it's not recommended as a coach.
It
But for fantasies, hypothetically, yes. I'll do every other play.
Not often when a franchise has back-to-back all-time greats.
No, it's special.
It is.
It's special to have these guys be able to do what they did. And that's just coaching, between themselves as talent and then coaching.
We know there are differences, obviously, in personalities, but how about similarities and traits, right, as quarterbacks? What did you see that the common denominator in their greatness?
That's a good. You know what? That's another one. That's not a I hate you one, but that's a good one.
That's where you respect me now.
Yes,
thank you.
Definitely. That brought it back up. The meter was down here, now it came back up.
Okay, we're in speaking terms.
Right. I would say the leadership aspect they both share. In the huddle, I'm pretty sure in practice, is that leadership quality which all quarterbacks gotta have, because. As an athlete growing up, especially in football, to me, the quarterback, no matter who my quarterback was, they were another coach on the field. Especially when I got to college, it was more coaching, and also teammate that was leading the huddle and leader. I was just say leadership on the field, competitiveness. Yeah. They both have it in different ways, and I say Aaron has a little bit more trash talking. And I say go-tos than Brett did. Like
really?
Brett just pumped his arm and he ran around like a little kid. But Aaron, he got the belt. He does the belt thing. Yeah. And he goes in Chicago this year, and we already know what he says.
Yep.
It's like I don't think Brett had that much. I don't think he would go there. But he liked the trash talk. The guy Warren Sapp, that was his trash talking buddy. So when we played the Buccaneers, he would go back and forth. But I'm like, dude, get over here. You got to call our plays. You got to be focused. Let's go. Don't throw the ball in double coverage.
Yeah,
we don't want that to happen. So
last thing, and then Ricardo, it's time for our social media question of the night. But let's talk about the Packers 1-2 punch at running back. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. Do you see yourself in one of them, both of them, neither of them? I mean, which one? Because you got A.J. Dillon's that hammer like you were.
Yeah.
But you had more speed than A.J. Dillon.
Just a little bit, yeah.
But you kind of have that. You also have that slashing ability like an Aaron Jones. So I guess how do you see these guys and how they compare to how you played?
I say, well, you pretty much nailed it. In terms of being that hammer, I learned that early in playing football as a kid. I got used to the physical part of football. My brothers, they worked with me. They taught me some things. about being physical, being a physical runner. Having, when I was a young kid, starting to watch Walter Payton when I was like 9, 10, 11, 12 years old.
Right.
And so my brothers set me down. We watched the video, and he's like, both of them were like, that's how, if you're going to be a running back, this is how you run the ball. So that switch got flipped, like I said, as a kid. So I knew it's a physical game. If you can out-hit the other person, you might win the game. Not saying you're going to win, but you got to have the other things. You score touchdowns, things, make tackles, things of that nature. And then remind me, I kind of lost track. I was diverging.
just how you saw do you see yourself in these two guys?
Right.
So like the hammer you talk about, you and AJ Dillon, kind of that same
So
mentality.
and then so that was AJ's. Kind of me and my relation to him in terms of how we were both guys that could go. I remember my first year in Seattle, I led the league in short yardage conversions.
Okay.
Third and short, fourth and short. Anything short yardage, I led through a span of 5 weeks. And then with Aaron, in terms of Aaron Jones, how they use him and how I've seen them use him. And Mark LaFleur has done a fantastic job. Last year or 2 years ago, his first year, when he had him split sometimes out wide receiver, or in the slot, running routes or running screens. That stuff I started to do. And among with my generation of running backs, myself, Marshall Faulk, Priest Holmes, we're kind of getting put in the slot or running screen plays a lot in different areas just to kind of keep the defense honest. Because, you get defense comfortable when they know what's coming at them, then they're going to blitz you all the time, or they're going to sit in zone. But if you mix it up, and that's what LaFleur and Hackett, they do a fantastic job of mixing up their plays, mixing up their formation, and then mixing up their personnel to those plays. Because then switching Aaron or AJ or Devontae, putting them, Randall Cobb sometimes in the backfield, Devontae's in the backfield. When you see those different things, you see what's going on. They're winning games. And it almost seems easy, but, they've been in the losses where a team kind of figures them out or pushes them into mistakes. But overall, they're in the winning category most of the games.
Yeah, how about Ahman Green tonight? Great conversation. All really good stuff, very interesting stuff. Ricardo, it's your turn, though. You have a social media question of the night.
I do, and it's from Brian Linninger. He's on Facebook. He wants to know, hey, Ahman, are you still auditioning for acting roles? And who's your favorite Batman? That might be...
that's a tough one, too.
Tough one, too, yeah.
No, that's not a tough one.
No? Okay.
That's an easy one. Michael Keaton, 1989, Tim Burton. But also, tip my hat, and God rest his soul, Adam West.
Yeah.
That's who got me
TV
started.
Batman.
TV Batman got me started. That's when, growing up in Los Angeles, either up late at night or up early in the morning watching the 60 syndication.
Right, yeah.
I thought, I was like, bow, plat, spoon, boom. I'm like,
Right.
I'm watching as a kid like, wait a minute, what's up? Then I was like, all right, it's kind of interesting.
It grows on you, doesn't it?
It grew on me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, first observation as a kid, 6 years old, 7. I was like, that superhero, he's kind of out of shape. I don't see,
Right,
I don't see no pecs. I don't see a six pack,
Yeah.
But I'm like, he's fighting crime. He's doing some good things. He has a partner, in Robin.
Robin.
Burt Ward.
Yeah.
I was cool with that.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, I get it. After I got into it, I was like, I get it. But then Tim Burton comes out with Batman, and Michael Keaton, Kim Basinger, Prince did the soundtrack. Awesome soundtrack. I think they won an Academy Award. He won an Academy Award for that.
That was a long time ago now.
So yeah, and then what was the first other
acting
part of
roles.
that?
Any more acting?
Acting roles.
No, acting. No, well, with coaching, kind of acting's to the side right now.
Yeah.
I've done a couple reads here and there. It's a show. It's on. I think it's maybe TNT. It's John Singleton's last production, Snowfall. I had read for that. It was the uncle. I read for the uncle role.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, but outside of that, no, not much. Just still reading comic books.
Well, we got another question
Disney
related
Plus stuff. Yes.
there
another
you
question
go.
related to the comic book stuff. Now, do you prefer the Snyder cut of the Justice League or the regular?
Oh, Snyder cut.
Okay.
All day. Well, I'm in his director's cut of Batman vs Superman.
Oh.
So that was my fly on the wall moment in my life. As I said, I said in the interview, like in 2005 when Christian Bale Batman came out, I was doing an interview. And I said, look, they said, what is your dream? I said, I just want to be a fly on the wall in a Batman movie. It came to light with Zack Snyder, who actually is from Green Bay, grew up in Green Bay, and was at the Ice Bowl.
Oh, really? Wow.
When he was a kid.
Okay, interesting.
So I had a friend who did an internship with Zack Snyder on the set of Man of Steel. And so my friend called me. He said he did the whole internship, and he said, Ahman, guess what? I'm like, what? He said, Zack Snyder is a Packer fan. I said, what? I was like, cool. And so he said, I talked to him, and he said the next movie that he gets to make, he's gonna make sure he gets you on set so you could be on. I'm like, dude, I guess. And then eventually happened. Yeah, dream come true. We actually I flew up to the set of Man of Steel and we went out to dinner, and that's when the conversation started. He's like, I got to get you in the movie. Is it, he was doing, he said, I have Batman coming up. Before that, I have, he redirected the second part 2 to 300, the Gladiator movie. He did that one, or the Spartans. Yes, great movie. And so, yeah, it was just like, I finally had my moment. I'm thug number 2.
There you go.
What scene specifically, so people will know?
It's the okay. In the director's cut of Zack Snyder, it's when it's an unfortunate scene. It's violent. It's a shanking in the jail. Okay, I hand off the shiv to the other inmate to do a shanking. Okay, so
a stabbing
in the scene. So. Thug number 2.
Thug number 2, Ahman Green.
I'm gonna look for that.
He's an
now.
actor.
I'm gonna look for that
Not
now.
only an all-pro running back. Yeah. All right, for having his question selected, Brian will win a signed photo of Ahman Green. Got some of those each week. We'll ask you to submit a question for our co-host or guest that we'll ask live during Monday's show. Look for it on Facebook.com/Clubhouse Live. Take a time out, Ricardo. We're going to skip trivia question number 2. Let me get. You're going to have to help me, Ricardo, because I can't get my script page turned. Hold on.
Clubhouse
there we
Live
go.
Challenge.
Let's do our Clubhouse Live Challenge. Rosie, we need some music, and I'll throw the challenge flag. It is time for tonight's Clubhouse Live Challenge, courtesy of Baubles Galore. Baubles Galore is your source for the largest selection of bobbleheads you will find anywhere. All sports, all teams, entertainers, and more. Shop Baubles Galore for that unique piece for your mantle or man cave, and they have a great selection of Packers, Brewers, and Bucks bobbleheads. Baubles Galore also makes custom bobbleheads that are perfect for weddings, birthdays, retirements, or any special occasion, and their unique AR or augmented reality app makes this beautiful Packers bobblehead set come alive. There it is on the screen. There's Star, Favre, and Rodgers, just as it does with this MVP set as well. There's Christian Yelich, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Aaron Rodgers. So there we go. Baubles Galore, all the Baubles heads shown on Clubhouse Live are available on baublesgalore.com. Look for special website discounts. The more you buy, the more you save. Ahman, this is where we play a game we like to call Six Pack, okay?
6-pack.
This is a rapid-fire game in which you have 60 seconds. 60 seconds to correctly answer 6 questions about the Green Bay Packers. 6-pack, okay?
All right.
Here's how we do it. If you do so, you win the game, and prizes for tonight's contestant, which is Tim Fandre, right over there of Appleton. That's who you're playing for, right behind me there. Maybe get him on the screen. There he is, Tim Fandre. And this is what you could win. A Devontae Adams framed bobblehead right here, courtesy of Baubles Galore. A signed photo of Ahman Green. And the best prize of them all, Grizzly Dan, a USA Today Network Wisconsin ice scraper.
Yes.
It snowed today.
Only in Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's worth 5 cents, but it's a darn good prize. If you don't win the game tonight, our contestant, Tim, will have to eat turkey leftovers with Ricardo. That's what's going to happen.
That's not a bad thing.
Plenty of
It's
leftovers.
a terrible
That sounds
thing.
good to me.
If at any point you're stuck on a question, you can pass, and we'll come back to it. Now, Ricardo, you will keep track of the time as you always do. Do not start the clock until I completely ask the first question.
Gotta get my whole 60, right? Me?
Yep.
All
6
right.
questions, 60 seconds. We're going to fire through this. Question number 1. Here we go. Whose record did you surpass in becoming the Packers' career rushing leader?
Oh, Jim Taylor.
Yes. In 2004, you threw the only touchdown pass of your career. Who caught it?
Donald Driver.
Yes. True or false? The Packers' 13 titles are the most in NFL history.
True.
Yes. Lambeau Field's namesake is Earl Lambeau, but what nickname did he most often go by as his first name?
Curly.
Yes. The Packers used to play their home games in Green Bay and what other Wisconsin city?
Oh, Milwaukee.
Yes. Last one. The Bears still what?
Suck.
Yes, Ricardo, what is the time?
That's cold-blooded.
Hey.
Near record time.
First off, I don't like that last one.
But
it is a record time. 26 seconds.
20, he's setting more records. How about that? Rosie, some championship music. Because Tim is going home with Devontae Adams, courtesy of Baubles Galore. He gets a signed photo and the USA Today Network Wisconsin ice scraper. Ahman gets the record-breaking bell.
Brett.
How about that,
Brett,
ladies and gentlemen?
There's no one going to be beating that one.
He nailed
That's going to
it.
be hard to beat.
He nailed it right down the list. So It's winding down. This hour is flying by.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But again, how about Ahman Green joining us here today?
Thank you.
But we've got some things to get to first.
Okay.
It is the holiday season.
Yeah.
And since you gave the gift of being with us tonight, getting us ready for the bye week, I got some gifts for you.
Oh.
I've got some pictures for your Bat Cave.
Nice.
Right? Not
I
the
like
Man
Bat
Cave.
Cave.
It's the Bat Cave in Ahman Green's
Yes.
house, I think, is what I was reading.
Yes.
So this will go up in the Bat Cave. Check out this photo first of Ahman Green. Look at that. Leaving the Jets in the dust. Look at that. Brilliant photo.
Oh, sick. Nice.
I actually think that's from Dan Powers, our guy right there behind the camera, shooting all those Packer
Nice.
games. That is for you.
Thank you.
And then I wanted to go a little bit old school because we did talk about it. This is Ahman Green coming back to Green Bay wearing the number
Yes.
34. There
That's
you are,
right.
Ahman Green on the screen. Look at that. The old school
Nice.
Walter Payton look.
Yep.
Number 34.
Nice.
That is for you as well.
Thank
so,
you.
yes,
Thank you.
we appreciate
Appreciate
you being here, and hopefully you can find a spot for those. And
Yeah,
Ricardo
we'll-
and I look forward to an invite to the Batcave, maybe play some video games. Right?
Yes.
That
yeah.
too.
Video games. We got ping pong.
Ooh, ping pong.
Ice. Was it air hockey?
I'm a tremendously talented ping pong player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. We gotta find out.
Well, there we go. There's an invite.
That's the
We're
invite.
back on speaking terms.
Yes.
Live stream it.
We'll live stream it, but for the time being, Ricardo, you have another audience question.
Yeah, I do. And this one's from Craig Martin.
Okay.
So if we can get him on camera. Hey, he wants to know, what do you think is the biggest change in the NFL since your playing days?
Interesting.
Woo. So there is a lot of
There's a
changes.
lot, yeah.
Me and Mike Wall talk about this probably every show, from the hitting rules that have been changed and pass interference rules that's been changed, holding, training camp. I would say it's got to be training camp. Like my training camp days, all the way I could go back to Little League. It was 2 a days, 2 practices a day, 2.5 to 3 hour practices for 2 weeks. All the way from Little League to the time I got here. And when I left out too, it was just transitioning like 2010 because the CBA was renegotiated.
Right, yeah.
So that's when it changed. And when I found out the change, I was like, what? I could have played another 10 years because now day one of contact, whenever that day was, so if it was on a Tuesday, that's full contact. That means Wednesday, you rebuild. So Wednesday is no pads. Thursday is shells, which is not even pads. It's like a foam thing. No helmets. The next day is shells with helmets. The next day is shoulder pads with helmets. Then the 5th or 6th day, it's everything. And I'm like, dude, why they just come out this now?
Right?
I still be playing right now, helping Aaron and AJ in the backfield.
Oh, man. Well,
Come on, guys. Man.
Get back out there, right? Let's sign another one-year contract for Ahman. Get number 30 back out on the field.
So, yeah, I got to say that's the biggest change since being out the game.
I'm trying to think if number 30 is even used right now this year. I know
It's not.
Jamal Williams wore it last year, right?
Yeah, Jamal. Yeah, they have.
So 30 is available for you.
Available.
Right, let's go.
Hey.
Let's reinforce that backfield here.
Yeah.
One more thing, Rosie, can you put the picture of Ahman Green? Look at that. Now, there is your one and only touchdown pass of your career. 2004, week 6, I think it was. Detroit, Ford Field. It was a 20-yard touchdown pass to Donald Driver. I actually found the clip on YouTube today.
Ooh, nice.
You didn't even set. You kind of ran. He's a lefty, so he's throwing it. Didn't set your feet. It was kind of a la Brett Favre, and it was, you threaded the needle.
Yeah.
It was a brilliant pass.
Well, I play baseball.
Well, yeah.
I say from Pat Mahomes and Kyler Murray, that baseball background is special because obviously we learn how to throw the ball. We got to get the ball out the mitt fast. Being an outfielder, it's all about once that ball hits your mitt, you got to get it out. So that part, but then also learning how to throw from different angles. If you saw, I don't know, there's probably like 20 documentaries on how Pat Mahomes warms up and Dak Prescott, the hip thing.
Yeah,
that's
weird.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, we learn as baseball players, you learn how to get the ball out different ways where you can't get that full extension here. You might have to go from the hip, and we see Aaron do it sometimes. I'm pretty sure he might have played baseball where we don't hear a whole lot about it, but I'm sure he has a bait where he throws some sidearm passes because he's getting around the defensive end, trying to fling that ball there, and it's all mostly wrist, and you learn how to do both wrist and shoulder throws. So baseball.
It was tight coverage. Did you think, if you remember the play, did you think at the time, man, maybe I shouldn't throw it? Or like, this is my one chance. This is my one opportunity. I'm throwing this no matter what.
So I go by the book. So my coaches, Coach Sherman and Tom basically said, if it's clear cut, wide open, that means safety is not over top. He's like, we got him beat, then throw it. But if you do decide to throw it and he's covered, throw it where nobody could get it or throw it out of bounds. So I threw it where nobody could got it, but Donald being a high jumper, he went up and he stair-stepped, went up high and got it and was able to come down with it in the end zone. So I knew if he was going to get it, it was going to go in the back of the end zone. It wasn't going to be a turnover. So I had to make sure I didn't have that on my resume.
Look it up if you can. It's Ahman Green highlights, and that's one of the highlights. 158.3 passer rating, Ricardo, that
perfect.
game. A perfect rating for this guy. Yeah, how about Ahman Green tonight? We got to wind down. So normally at this time we would go up north with USA Today Sports Plus. Hey, everybody, the USA Today Sports Plus is a new sports app that puts the fans first. Get the latest scores, stats, and standings, and enjoy interactive experiences with our award-winning sports writers. Download USA Today Sports Plus from the Apple or Google Play stores today. USA Today Sports Plus fan harder. No game to preview, right? No game to pick because the Packers are on the bye. But next week, it's Bears week, Mean Gene. And Ricardo and I, the Bears still, he said it. We will do our Packers-Bears bet again, Ricardo, so we're going to find out what you'll be doing the following week.
We'll see. That's supposed to be the week I'm gone on vacation.
Yeah, well, you can't be on vacation from the show.
But that's the way it goes.
I don't get vacations from the show. But
you're the co-host. I'm just a side guy here.
We'll figure that out. But next week we'll go back and pick in the Packers-Bears game. But in the meantime, Ricardo, Packers News app.
Yeah, with exclusive commentary, insider analysis, and award-winning photos and videos from USA Today Network, Wisconsin's Packers coverage team. That Packers News app, your one-stop shop for complete coverage of the Green Bay Packers. This app is available for iPhone and Android users.
Yeah, special thank you to our sponsors and friends once more. Unison Credit Union, Bobbles Galore, Mark Olenichik Realty, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear, USA Today Sports Plus, Mayfield Sports Marketing, Escort Limousine Service, Mike Thiel and Eric lives here, and of course, the good folks here at the Paper Valley Hotel. We're doing another keyword for that Alan Lazard signed canvas print. Actually, we got a bunch of canvas prints of him now and MVS, but the keyword tonight is buy, B-Y-E. I don't know if Rosie has it there. It is buy because it is the bye week. So that's for the online folks to get their entries in. Of course, the good folks here are putting tickets into the bucket for the extravaganza edition at the end of the season. Also, Ahman, I have one more thing to plug.
Okay.
It's called Holidays with the Pack, all right?
Oh, yeah.
The 11th annual Holidays with the Pack is returning December 11th and the 12th at the Fox River Mall right down the street here in Appleton or Grand Chute. This year's autograph event will feature 5 former Packers greats. Ahman Green will be part of the festivities, everybody, along with Santana Dotson. How about the Gravedigger, Gilbert Brown? Andre Rison is going to be in town, and Antonio Freeman. So that should be a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Bring your own item to be autographed, or merchandise will be made available for purchase. Find out more about Holidays with the Pack at MayfieldSportsMarketing.com. Again, December 11th and the 12th at the Fox River Mall. That should be a fun time seeing all the great Packer fans.
Yes.
But we can't wrap it up until you give everybody the final word tonight.
Oh, final
What do you have
word.
for all the good folks here in person and online?
Oh, final word.
The final word.
Oh, man. You probably put me on the spot.
Now you don't like me again, do you?
No, I'm messing with you. No, it's just obviously great. Thank you for having me back on the show.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate
It's always fun here. And to see the crowd, with everything going on from last year where we couldn't, because we were trying to set up one last year, but then everything
it's all weird.
Got nixed because of COVID. But so glad to see everybody back and enjoying themselves. And I'm happy the way the season's going for the guys, obviously there's a few guys injured, but Rashard came back. Gary played great. Hopefully he can continue his uprising because he's a game plan guy now. He's going to cause a lot of problems for a lot of left tackles and right tackles.
He's becoming elite.
Yes,
an elite pass rusher.
And I say the switch has flipped in his head from a confidence level on what he knows he can do and build off his what he's been doing week over week. So hope the guys keep going because obviously to be in the big goal, be out in LA for that Super Bowl, as it's going to be everything they wanted. And I say for this fan base, there's one fan base that definitely deserves it because the Packer fan base has always been great, supportive. We hear the Bulls too when we're not doing our job, and I know that's part of the game. I had a couple of games where we got booed out there because we didn't show up.
Right.
We got our butt kicked. But they let us know and they support us through all that, good and bad. So I appreciate the fans, in the stands, fans in here tonight. And if you got any kids, You got any young adults in here that play video games? Send them my way.
Lakeland University,
At Lakeland
right?
University, right down the highway here.
You got your contact information.
I say country roads coming from Millwood.
Right, it is kind of, but you got your contact information on the Lakeland University website. So
yes,
you
it
can
is.
Email them or give them a call.
I got cards on me too.
There we go.
Hey, great coach. I'm recruiting. Always.
Ricardo, I think I'm going to do it. Get rid of that Atari. So, hey, how about again a big round of applause for Ahman Green. So for Ahman, the legend, right? Ricardo and the rest of the Clubhouse Live crew, I'm Brett Christopherson signing off. Be back here next Monday night as we get ready for the stretch run. Marquez Valdez-Scantling and a guest will be here, and we'll get ready for Bears Week. Can't wait for that one as well. But in the meantime, Mean Gene, it's your turn. Take it away.